Hey beauties, it's Ribbon. Here I go with another video. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Look what I did. I'm obsessed with it. I'm going to tone it. I wasn't going to tone it because I really like this bright yellow against my skin, but babe wants me to tone it. I do want to see the difference in the toning process, so that will happen, but I'm loving it. But we are here today for a video that I feel like we're going back to the basics, we're going back to the roots, and this is going to be 10 easy steps for a full face. Okay, so I'm here to let everyone know that it is not that difficult. It is extremely simple and easy, and I feel like the more education you have on the subject, the easier it is for you to implement it. So we are going to give an explanation to why we do each step, so that way you can kind of get a feel for doing the whole process and getting used to the process and buying the products you'll need and things of that nature. Rule number one is you always want to start with a freshly moisturized face. I like to use Shea Moisture. This is my daily face moisturizer. I like to use this a lot. I have a lot of moisturizers in my collection actually, but this one is my go-to, and I'm trying to use all black owned products today, so this is a black owned product, Shea Moisture. So definitely go ahead and check this out. It makes my skin feel really, really nice, really good. But I'm not going to include that as a step because that's technically the last step for skincare, not the first step for makeup. So just to let you know, that's not step one. But step one is primer. So this is from Black Opal, and Black Opal is now black owned. It didn't used to be, but they are now. And this is their primer. And the reason we use primer, you guys, is to blur pores. Now when I say blur pores, what I mean by it is all the little holes in your face, all the little hair holes, all the little follicles you see that get plugged and create blackheads, you want to block those. Okay, so what primer does is it gives a nice sealer layer right over the pores, and it blurs them so that when you put your foundation on, it gives you that airbrushed, flawless look, okay? It's not seeping down into your skin because you have the primer on, and it just creates a nice, beautiful finish when you do apply your foundation. I also like to use a tacky primer because it holds that foundation to my skin and it makes it last a bit longer. This Black Opal foundation is not tacky of any way, but it definitely is pore blurring, if I can say that. So yeah, you just want to apply it all over your skin. I definitely focus on the T-zone a lot, and the T-zone is forehead, nose, chin, and cheeks, under eye, okay? So that's what we call your T-zone. So I make sure to focus there, but I do apply it all over the skin, okay? Alright, so a step that is not a step is brows. Now, if you don't have brows, you're going to need to do your brows, and that is an included step, which would be step 11. But I have brows. I'm fine with the way my brows look on a daily, so I'm not going to do them, which is why I didn't include this as a step, but I wanted to mention it because this is when you would do it, is before your foundation, okay? Alright, so for step 2, it is our foundation. So I'm going in, with the Makiage foundation. I don't know if that's how you say it. I say it wrong all the time, but this is a black owned company, and I'm going in with that. And I'm just using my Fenty Beauty Blender. Fenty, also black owned. Put a couple of pumps on there, and I just apply it all over my skin. Now you make sure your beauty blender is wet when you use it. Most beauty blenders are made to be used wet, and it just works better with spreading the product all over. I like to go from the inside outwards when I do my foundation, just to create kind of a flawless look. It kind of helps blending, so that way there's not much product to blend out when it comes towards the end of your face. You definitely want to make sure you're blending all the way through your neck. You do not want to see a straight line of foundation to no foundation. And you want to match your neck when it comes to matching your foundation, okay? So like you saw, the inside of my face is really bright because I have natural highlight there. But I'm not looking to match the inside of my face. I'm looking to match my neck and my chest, which is normally darker than the inside of your face, okay? So that's why it probably looks a little funky as I first apply it, but we are going to go in and put that light back into our skin once we have our foundation. So the point of foundation is to create one nice even skin tone. So one nice fresh canvas, all the same skin complexion, all the same tone, so that way you have less to work with when it comes to all the other products that you're going to apply, okay? So if you're going off of your dark eye circles and, you know, your lighter center of the face, it's going to be kind of hard because you're going to have to put that in consideration with any other makeup that you apply. So that is reason one for your foundation. Reason number two for your foundation is to create a flawless, seamless look. So you're hiding your blemishes, you're hiding your rosacea, you're hiding your scars or anything you don't want to show. Now, I'm not a person who likes to hide all of my flaws and imperfections. Like, I have my beauty mark and I have a couple of other things that I don't mind showing through, so I like to go for a medium coverage foundation. But there is a full coverage option and there's an even lower coverage option if that is you. I know in the summertime I kind of go for like a tinted moisturizer, which is like almost no coverage, but that's just because I like something lightweight in the summertime. I don't want to feel like I have a lot of cakey makeup on, but I definitely like a medium coverage foundation. So just keep that in mind. If you're a person, like my friend always wants her freckles to show through, there's a medium coverage, there's light coverage, so that way you're still getting a nice even canvas, a nice one tone of skin complexion, but you can still see you underneath it, okay, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's step number two. Now we're moving into step number three, concealer. So concealer, for one, is to conceal. So you are hiding your wrinkles, you're getting rid of any aging. A lot of people use concealer before their foundation to hide their imperfections and their blemishes. There's a lot of reason for concealer, but concealing is the main reason, obviously. Now, the reason we get it in a lighter shade than our skin tone is because we are also using it for highlight. So the places we place it are going to give that illusion of sunlight, illusion of light hitting our face. So that is why we get it in a lighter shade. Now, you don't want to go too light because then you'll just look a little cray-cray. But you don't want to go too dark because then it would just be the same complexion as you. This is Juvias Place concealer, and this is in the shade 11. I wanted shade 12. 11's a little bit too light for me, but they were out of shade 12, so. But I like to place it under my eye, right here, along the nose, and just add a little bit. Now, I see a lot of people do just one straight triangle up underneath the eye. I feel like my face shape is not made for that exact illusion. But to each its own. Whatever works for you. This is what works for me. Then I also like to go in, place it down the bridge of my nose, on the bottom of my chin, and I place it here because I like that illusion that it creates. So this is step number three. Step number four is contour. Now this is the contour stick in Fenty in the shade Espresso by Fenty in Espresso, okay? Now contouring is to create the shadow back in your face. So wherever you would normally be shaded or darker, that is where you're going to put the contour. I'm sorry, you guys, it's been a while. But that's where you're going to put the contour, okay? So I like to place it right above that natural line I would normally have here. I put it right above that. Alright? Then I like to put it on the bridge of my nose towards the top. Not so far down here, but towards the top there. Like right there. And I would normally do the perimeter of my forehead, but since my hair is blonde, I don't feel the need to do that. So I don't, okay? But that is where I contour. So concealer is to add light wherever the sun would hit you is where you want to put concealer. And for contour, it's wherever the sun would not hit you, creating a shadow. That's where you're contouring, okay? So at this point, we're going to blend this out. Now, I like to blend my contour first because I like to let my concealer sit and get tacky, because it stays in the exact place that I put it, which is what I want, okay? So I go in with the bottom of my beauty blender, or you can use a buffer brush. So this is from Juvias Place, and it is a rounded buffer brush. And this is just a really dense brush, and that's helpful for when you're going to go blend out cream contour. But for low product purposes, I'm just going to use the same beauty blender. I'm going to the same place where I put my foundation, and I'm just going to blend upwards. So I'm blending upwards to, for one, keep that cut of harsh contour, and for two, that I'll be able to blend it easily into the concealer once I blend the concealer out. So you see how that's very nice and contoured. It's once I blend the concealer in, it won't look as dark and as harsh. But so I am going to go in with a smaller brush, and I'm just going to blend out the contour on my nose because I don't want it to get too funky. Okay. So I'm not looking to sculpt, chisel, or recreate my facial features, which some people do. I'm just looking to put the natural colors back into my face. Now, I covered them up with foundation to create a flawless look. Now I'm putting them back into my face so that I have a full flawless look, a natural flawless look, if that makes any sense. When you just put foundation on your face, it looks like you have foundation on your face because you're not putting the light and the dark back into your face, you know? So that's the point of all these steps, is to make you look like you don't have no makeup on without all the flaws, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and blend out my concealer. I'm taking this part of the beauty blender here, and I'm just going to tap it out. I'm also going to tap onto my lid because it makes it easier for my shadows to show up, just because I'm of darker complexion. And I don't really use primer because primers are never really light enough. They're not tinted enough for me. There's an eyelid primer that I'm speaking of. And I'm just blending this down into that contour just to create a seamless, flawless blend. So that way they're like melting into each other. I like to look up, pat all those wrinkles out. See what I mean? Okay. That right there. Go in with the butt of my beauty blender to kind of blend it out and make it look nice and seamless. I'm just blending it all together. Now I'm going to go in with my nose, and the way I do my nose is I go upwards. Now I don't put any extra product on my forehead because I have a very tiny forehead, okay? So that little splotch that I had right in the middle is enough for my tiny little head. You could always add more if you have a larger forehead. And then I just go and blend out those edges with the bottom of my beauty blender once again. So I use this one beauty blender for all sides, for all shades, for each step. Alright, so we're going to hop right into step number 5, and that is in the setting powder. So this is also from Juvias Place, and this is in the shade Kalahari. But you're just kind of going for a shade that matches your concealer. And I like to pat the wrinkles out first and then set it. You don't want to set your wrinkles in place. Okay? Now I'm also not one to bake. There are some people who take the setting powder and leave it on their face for a while so that it seeps into the concealer and really gets it that set. I feel like it's an extra step and it's kind of drying to the skin. So I don't like to do that. I just pat it into my face and then I wipe it right off Even that is a long sit for me. But I just want you guys to get the idea of where you put it. Alright. Now, there are times where I go in with a brown powder and I set the rest of my face with that. But we're not doing that in this video because it's not a necessary step. It's just another step. Alright, so now we're going to hop into step number 6. And step number 6 is setting spray. Now, I'm using Milani setting spray. Like I said, they're not black owned. They used to be when they first started, but they're still pro-melanin. They still sell products geared towards us black women, us women who have melanin in our skin, okay? So, at this point, I'm just going to take advantage and pat that in, just because I like to do that sometimes, just to make sure that my foundation is going to last and that everything is blended and mixed together before it actually sets in place. Alright, so now we are going into step number 7, and step number 7 is eyes, alright? So when it comes to the eyes, you can go as simple as you want. You can go as loud as you want, as bright as you want. I'm using Juvia's Place palettes. I'm actually going to use this one to keep it nice and simple. I don't want to do too much, but I definitely want to include it because it is important. I can't leave my eyelid looking like that, right? So I'm going to go in with a brush from Juvia's Place, and this is the blender brush. And I'm just going to go into this brown color here. This is the Warrior palette too. I really like this one for my daily natural looks. And I'm just going to take this and pat it into the outer corner and put it into the crease. Just like so. This is like my go-to signature look when it comes to me just wanting a daily simple look. I'm going to show you exactly how I do that, okay? And I just use everything out of this palette. I don't use any other palette. Just like so. Kind of blend it out to an angle. Just like that. Alright. Now I'm going to go into this blackish color. So this is black. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going into this color here, which is more of like a super, super, super dark brown. And I'm just going to pat into that and pat it into this outer corner to create some depth and dimension to this eye look, okay? Not too much, just to darken it. And then we're just going to go back into that brown and sweep around it just to blend that all in and just make it look like flawless. I know I've said flawless a lot in this video, but that's the point of makeup, okay? Once you get it down pat, you will always look flawless, okay? Now I'm going to go into this caramel light color. And I'm just going to do the rest of my eyelid. Like so. And just blend it all in. All together. And this is like my daily. Sometimes when I want a different look, I go for this nude here. But today, I'm just going for something very, very natural looking. You notice I used one brush for this entire look. It doesn't look like much, but it looks like I did something to my eye. Alright, so that is step number 7. Alright, so now we're on step number 8, and that is still for our eyes, and that is to bring the glam to the eye look. Now, this is a step you don't have to include, but if you're looking for that full face that everyone has, we definitely add liner and lashes. Okay, like those are important when it comes to full face, I'm just saying. It's not full, you know, without a lash. Just saying. Lashes today, I'm using Chantrelle Cosmetics. She's a friend of mine. She's here in Pittsburgh. She's a small-owned business. I actually support a lot of my small-owned businesses, especially when it comes to makeup products, because they make me happy. A lot of my friends have lash products, so I buy them. Like, this is a whole bag of lashes that I got from my cousin. Like, she will be sponsored in the next video, though. So, but we're using Chantrelle Cosmetics today. Look how pretty these are. Like, look at those. I love them. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these, and I'll be right back, okay? Alright. Look how gorgeous these lashes are. Ugh. I love them. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop on liner. And the only reason I'm really using liner, because I already have a wing going on here, but it is to kind of hide the lash line a little bit. So I'm just going to go in and do the inner. Just like so. Drag it all the way to create a straight line. And I'm just going to create like a baby wing. Like so. Alright, so that was step number 8, lashes and liner. Alright, so I know you guys are doing lashes or liner, one or the other. It's your preference. You don't have to add everything that I'm adding. I'm just showing you the simplest way to get that look that everyone has been having. I really think that lashes make my entire look. There's a lot of time where I don't put makeup on at all and I just put on a lash and go out the house because I feel like it just makes me look put together. If that makes any sense. So that's number 8. Number 9 is highlighter. So this is a highlighter from Juvia's Place. And this is their Tribe Volume 2. It looks like that. It's golden and pretty. It has a little mirror too, which is, I think, is really, really cute. But that's my highlighter. So the reason I think highlighter is very important and is a necessity is because I just feel, especially as a person with melanin, you need to shine and glisten in that sunlight, okay? You need that extra luminescence, okay? It just adds that pop to your entire look. It's a finishing touch. It is the cherry on top. Now, there's a lot of people who use blush and bronze. I'm one of those people. But I already contoured, so bronze is kind of like an extra step. And I'm chocolate, so you don't really see my rosy anyhow. So I feel like that's just an extra step that we don't really need. But highlighter, let me just show you. I can show you better than I can tell you, okay? Y'all, it's a necessity. Okay, get you some highlighter. Oh, I went down too far. You can easily fix that with your foundation. Just to kind of pat that out. Or with your powder if you use powder. But this is way more pigmented than I thought it would be. But, oh, yes. You see that shine, that glistens? You don't have to add that much, okay? I wasn't expecting this to be that pigmented. This is my first time using Juvia's Place highlighters, and my goodness, they're pigmented. I should have knew that because their freaking eyeshadows are so pigmented, but boo. Do a little down my nose and on my nose. Y'all, that is just, imagine me out in the sunlight, and that just, imagine taking pictures with some natural lighting. Tell me that ain't gonna be bomb. Highlighters in need. Step number 9. Step number 10 is lips. Now, the reason I included this all in one step is because you can do anything you want. You could do a lipstick. You can do a lip gloss. You can do chapstick. It doesn't matter. Just make sure they ain't crusty when you leave the house, okay? But I'm using this lip gloss from Chantrelle Cosmetics. This is Shake It is the shade. I love this lip gloss. The same person I got my lashes from. This gloss is from her. She has glosses. She has lip sticks and lip tints and everything like that. And this is my favorite shade. I'm not going to do no liner. I'm just popping this right on my lips to show you how easy it is. Nudes are very popular when it comes to these full face makeup tutorials. So I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys that it's easy to get this nude lip as well. You just gotta buy the right shade. And those are all of the steps. See how easy it was, how quick it was. You got a little education on each thing. Alright, so now we're going to run through the steps really quickly, and I'm going to list them here, so I'm going to scoot over a little bit. So step number 1 is primer. So you buy a primer to blur your pores to create a nice airbrush finish look with your foundation or anything you decide to put on top of it. If you get a tacky primer, it will cling the foundation to your skin, helping it last longer and getting everything a fresh start. Step number 2, once we move past your brows, is foundation. So you get a foundation that matches your neck and your chest to help everything come together with the finished product. You're going to want a foundation to give you one nice clean complexion to work with moving forward through all the other products. And it also hides any blemishes, imperfections that you may want to hide, and to give a nice airbrush finish look. Okay. Step number 3 is concealer. You buy a concealer in a couple of shades lighter to create a highlight and bring that light back into your skin that would already normally naturally be there. And you conceal anything you want to hide. So blemishes, wrinkles, anything like that, concealer is for. Step number 4, contour. You're going to want to put contour in the areas that would have any shading, anything you want to give a structured look to. That is what contour is for. Step number 5 is setting powders or any kind of powders. We are going to include that all in step number 5. So setting powder is to set your foundation to help it last longer. It sets in the concealer so that way you're not showing your wrinkles as fast, and it also helps keep oils away from your skin. That's also another good tip for it. So using powders is a great way to set your face, help your makeup last longer, all of that good. Step number 6 is setting spray. I like to put my setting spray on right after my powders and before my eye look because I don't want to spray my lashes first off, and I like to set that powder with setting spray because sometimes it can look a bit chalky, sometimes it can look a bit powdery, and you don't want that look on your face. So once you hit it with that setting spray, it melts everything right into the face. So there's several different kinds of setting sprays as well. I wanted to mention you can get a dewy setting spray, which is what I used, and it gives me a moisture glow look. There is mattifying setting sprays, which dries your face and gives you a nice matte look. There's a lot of different setting sprays out there, you guys. So just find something that works for you, something that you like, a way that you want your finished product to look, and buy that setting spray. Okay. So step number 7 is eyes. Now I did something very simple with just 3 colors from one palette. That is the easiest way for me to go because I like color and I can go all out with my eyeshadows if I have the time or the patience. So you can do anything to your eyes. You can just put your bronzer. A lot of people just take their bronzer or their blush and add that right to their eyelid just to give it some kind of color, just some kind of finish. You just want to look like you did something to it is the main point, okay? So that is number 7. Number 8 was adding the drama to the eyes. So the lashes and the liner is what we did. We added that drama by a nice dramatic lash. You don't have to do that. You can just add mascara if you want to do that. You can not add a liner at all. Some people go even further and add white liner in their waterline. There's a lot of things you can do with your eyes to kind of bring all kinds of different flavors to your makeup look. So that was number 8. Step number 9 was highlight. Oh, there's so many different kinds of highlights. There's pinky highlights. If you want a blush look with a highlight, that's easy to get. There's orange highlights, there's golds, there's silvers, there's whites. There's a lot of different highlights in the market, and you can go any way you would like. Okay? And that just makes your skin look glowy. It makes you look hydrated. It makes you look... Oh, I just love highlighter, okay? It just makes you look good, especially in the sunlight, okay? And step number 10 is your lip. You can pop on a red lipstick. You can do just a brown liner with clear lip gloss. You can do just lip gloss. You can do just a shimmer lip. You can do whatever you want when it comes to your lip. That's why I just included it in one. You can keep it extremely simple, or you can do the 3 steps that we normally do. So I hoped this video was simple enough for you all. I hope you kind of got the idea of what each step is for and how they all play into each other and work with each other. By all means, take from it what you will. You don't have to do all 10 steps. You definitely don't have to include drama into your eye. You definitely don't have to do anything to your eye if you don't want to. So that's 2 steps gone. You definitely don't have to use highlighter. That's another step gone. If you ask me, as long as you are adding the colors back into your face with contour and concealer, not even contour, if you just conceal, okay? I'm trying to dumb it down as much as possible, you guys. Just don't put foundation on your face and leave the house. That's all I'm saying. And I know y'all feel targeted on my loves, but I'm just saying, if that's you, and I know a lot of you, that's not it. Just don't put on foundation if that's the point. Like when I leave the house, I put on lashes instead of foundation. Just because that look. If I don't have time to do at least 3 steps, I'm not putting on no makeup. Okay? Just as simple as that. I'm not doing it because I just feel like it's a better look. We all have natural beauty. We all have a natural glow to ourselves. With or without foundation, you are beautiful no matter what your skin looks like or feels like or how big your pores are or are not. I just want you all to understand that if you want the look that everyone else has, if you're one of those people who are like, I wish I knew where to start, that's what this video is for. Alright, I'm just trying to show you guys that it's not that difficult, it's not that hard. I've been in makeup for a long time and I have transitioned into dumbing it down so much. There's times where I use 3 foundations. I use a foundation in my skin tone, a lighter foundation under my eyes, and a darker foundation to contour. And I call it a day. Okay, so you can dumb it down as much as you want. You can make it as simple as possible. Just make sure that you are loving you in any way and every way possible. I hope you all enjoyed this video, you guys. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing 2 videos a week from now on. I love you, beauties. I'm going to put a ribbon on this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.